Hey everybody, I'm Cassie Zamora.
And I'm Jenny Knight.
And you're watching
Talk of the Town.
Welcome back everybody, and we hope you had a great spring break.
Today on Talk of the Town we have a great episode. First off, Kiara Massenberg with Gamecocks in the Kitchen has a special guest, Miss Patricia Moore Pastides. We'll be talking about some of the Greek recipes from her cookbook.
And then you and Lauren were out asking the Gamecock students about April Fool's jokes.
Then Talmadge has got the events going on around Columbia.
Welcome back, Gamecocks. Today is our most exciting day yet. I have a special guest with me, Mrs. Patricia Moore Pastides, the First Lady, and she is going to be showing me how to cook a few recipes out of her cookbook, Greek Revival, Cooking for Life. You got started and what interest you?
Well, it's a bit of a long story, but I got started because Harris and I went to a cooking school for our 25th wedding anniversary, and I loved it so much that I had a little dream of one day having a cooking school myself. So I said, well, you know, I'd like to publish a cookbook. That would be the first step in my business plan toward having a cooking school. And I started working on it. And then I started doing some cooking classes for Columbia's Cooking. And I decided that South Carolina really needed this cookbook. So I decided to hurry up and finish it and not let it be a fantasy, but make it a reality.
And we are going to begin cooking a few pasta recipes. So what are we going to be making first today?
We are making broccoli rabe with garlic, red pepper flakes, and penne pasta.
That sounds wonderful.
It's really good. The broccoli rabe is a nice green leafy vegetable that has some crowns like broccoli. And I think it tastes healthy. It tastes great to me. We're going to saute it in some olive oil with some garlic. Let me show you first about the broccoli rabe. Most people go to the supermarket and they come back with regular broccoli or broccolini, which is kind of a smaller version of broccoli. This is what broccoli rabe looks like. You've got the crowns here, but you also have some leaves, and you can eat all of this. So, and this one's called Andy Boy. I got it from Publix.
Now is this fairly easy to find at any supermarket?
Not all of them, but I know that Publix has it on a regular basis because I probably eat this about once a week. So, I'm going to get rid first of these stems, which tend to be a little bit too thick and fibrous. So we're going to just put those stems right into the compost. So for right now, I'll just stick them here. Those are going to become fertilizer for our garden at the President's house. And then I'm just going to cut this into small pieces so they're sort of bite-sized. And all of this, as I said before, can be eaten. The leaves, the crowns, and the stems.
And does this taste like broccoli? Is this...
You know, I'll let you be the judge of that. But I tend to like things that are a little bit on the bitter side. And this is, it's I think, you know, traditional broccoli is a little bit sweeter. And this is a little bit more bitter. So what we're going to do, Kiara, is we're going to rinse this and spin it. And then we'll do the second part because I want this to get real clean. So do you mind rinsing that for me?
Not at all. So do I rinse this with cool water?
Cool water would be great. That would be great. And then I think what I'm going to do while you're doing that is I will start some olive oil and some minced garlic.
That sounds really good. I love garlic. Let's keep spinning this.
Now your spinner, let me give you a little, this is an old spinner and I apologize for the orange color. I'm looking for a garnet one just like this, but this is a really good spinner, but you have to be very kind of vigorous with it. And you just really get that thing rolling, and then when you let go, it keeps going, and centrifugal force is going to send all the water off the leaves. So we should be able to, when it stops, if you open the lid when it's going, all the leaves will shoot out. So But when it stops, looky here. So we have our pretty much dried leaves, and look at all that water. Can you see all that water in there?
So this is a good investment.
This is a very good investment, that it is. Now I'm just going to grab a bowl to put this in, and then we'll let you do the second half, okay? If you don't-
Hey everyone, I'm Jenny Knight.
And I'm Lauren Hoare.
And today we're out here on Sumter Street behind Long Street Theater asking USC students what's the best April Fool's joke they've ever played.
Or the best prank that's been played on them.
Check it out.
Yo, Vanilla, kick it one time, boy.
Well, in Wisconsin, me and my brother used to take my mom's heavy starch spray that she would use on clothes and spray it on the linoleum floors and then wait for the other person to trip and fall.
It's definitely having the toilet wrapped in cellophane. So when you wake up in the morning to urinate, it just goes everywhere.
The worst April Fool's Day prank that I actually played on my dad was I had called him up and told him that my boyfriend had proposed to me, and he totally flipped out.
So in elementary school, I put up this flyer that I had lost my pet spider, and throughout the day, people were like, "Oh my gosh, Chris, did you lose your pet spider?" And I was like, "Yes, I did. Have you seen it?" And so later that night at like 6, I got a call from my school principal, and she told me that she had to tell like 5 teachers and all the cafeteria workers that it was just a prank, just so that they would go to work. And she also got like 6 phone calls from concerned parents. So.
Oh, one year my friend programmed into my phone as the signature, "By the way, I think I'm gay." And I texted my mom something else, and that came up as the signature.
Right, well, I wasn't raised in the United States, so I can't really recall of any, I guess, tradition or anything beyond normal April Fool's pranks.
A friend of mine at the time, we went to City Hall and got her brother to come out and take pictures. We had a friend of ours cars decorated. We convinced everybody we'd gotten married that day out of the blue, and put the pictures on Facebook and everything.
One time we told my best friend that my mom found some illegal substances in my drawers, and that I was going to military school, and my friend started bawling, crying, and freaking out.
Okay, so I'm from Minnesota, and actually in April it's still freezing up in Minneapolis, and my friends saran wrapped all the toilets in this place, and we were freezing all day after we went to the bathroom. It was terrible.
My dad borrowed the neighbor's car, put a bow on it, told me it was mine. Said April Fool's. It's pretty heartbreaking, not gonna lie.
So Lauren, what's the best April Fool's Day prank that you've ever played?
I took white toothpaste and I put it in Oreos and I gave them to my sister.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think for me it would have to be a bunch of my friends stole a bike, locked it to my sweet mate's bed last year, and it was just hanging there for a couple days. She couldn't get it down.
That's definitely something I've never heard before. This is Man on the Street. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Talmadge. Thanks for joining me for another segment of events. The first event is from one of the most provocative intellectuals of our day. Dr. Cornel West will be speaking at the Koger Center on March 31st at 8 p.m. Prior to the event, he will be having a book signing and a meet and greet for all students. Next up is Carolina Productions' annual student comedy competition. It will be held on April 4th, and this year's program is hosted by comedian Pete Lee, who you may have seen on the special Comedy Central Presents. On April 6th, famed Jewish singer-songwriter Madisha will be at the Koger Center at 8 p.m. This event is free for all students with a Carolina card. That wraps up this week's events. Join me in 2 weeks where I'll be at the Columbia Art Museum at the Who Shot Rock and Roll exhibit. See you then.
Coming up, we have movies, another portion of Gamecocks in the Kitchen, and celebrity gossip.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Hoare, and I'm here for your movie update for the next 2 weeks. At Russell House on Thursday, March 31st at 6 p.m., Burlesque will be playing, which is a story about a small-town girl who ventures to LA and finds herself at a neo-burlesque club, which is starring Cher and Christina Aguilera. At 9 p.m., The Tourist will be playing, which is a story about an American tourist who ventures to Italy to mend a broken heart and finds himself in more shambles than he was in the beginning. Next week at Russell House at 6 p.m. we have The Debt, which is a story about 3 Israeli Mossad agents on a secret mission trying to kill a Nazi criminal, and it continues on for 30 years after that. At 6 p.m., we have Black Swan, which is a story about a ballet dancer who wins the lead as the White Swan in Swan Lake, but slowly loses her mind and continues on and becomes the Black Swan. Outside of Russell House on April 8th, we have Your Highness, which is a story about an arrogant, lazy prince who has to complete a quest in order to save his father's kingdom.
In a faraway land, there live two brothers. One brave and bold, the other not so much.
Woo! Courtney, will you make funny faces to entertain me? No! Never triangle face. I hate triangle face. It scares me.
Your brother is about to embark on a quest.
The evil wizard Lazar has taken my love.
You must journey with your brother to rescue his bride.
Can I sleep on it?
Now we have Gabby Zambrano featuring an independent short film that was filmed here in Columbia, South Carolina called Dreadful Sorry.
We do have a special look at a short film students here at USC are working on as we speak. The film is called Dreadful Sorry. Its director, Robert Mitchman, is an instructor for the USC's theater department. With his award from 2010 South Carolina Film Commission, he was able to get a grant to produce the film. The film takes its inspiration from two occurrences that happened in Beaufort, South Carolina, and with a joint collaboration by Media Arts and a few theater students. The film is giving these students a lot of hands-on experience, as well as an opportunity to work alongside top professionals. Everybody, Cruz Figueroa, third-year Media Arts students. I'd just like to know, what's your main role here?
Well, the position that I actually signed up for is the second assistant to the director of photography, Danny Neese, who's coming in from LA.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, what are your expectations now you're getting to the production aspect of the movie?
Well, I'm actually really excited. I think it's going to be very challenging, very fast-paced, but it's definitely going to be a good experience. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of new things because I've never been on a set before, so looking forward to it.
I'm here with another student, Adam Vince, a double major in media arts and theater. Can you just tell me what your role is here?
I'm a second assistant to the camera of the documentary.
What are your main goals and how they pertain to this class?
I just want to kind of get into theater and film, the collaboration between those two departments, and see as many different possibilities that I can bring them together. And so on this film I can pretty much do anything in between.
I'm Gabby Zambrano. This has been Movies with Talk of the Town. Thank you for joining and have a great weekend.
Listen here. And the reason why we want to spin it so that it's close to dry is because when we put it into the hot oil, if there's too much water on it, it's going to crackle and pop and splatter. So we don't want that to happen. So anyway, let's go on. So basically, we're getting this a little bit warm, and then we're going to put in some garlic. I've got about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic over here that I've already peeled. Okay. But again, we're going heavy on the garlic because you really want to flavor that broccoli rabe up. This is my little French garlic press, which is kind of like my handy dandy thing I take everywhere. Oh, that is great. Isn't that good? You know, you really don't even have to take the little paper off the garlic clove because it will just, it will press the garlic through it. Okay. Anyways, but
so that can definitely save some time as well?
It can.
Okay. It's always a nice trick to know.
Would you like to put the rest of these in here?
Definitely.
And I'm going to, I think I'm going to check the pasta.
Okay, that sounds great.
Just, there's nothing worse than soggy pasta, don't you think?
Definitely. I need pasta al dente.
Me too. Yeah. I'm going to try and get one of these and see how it is.
This garlic smells really, really good.
Oh. We're going to have, I think it's ready.
Okay.
We're going to have the whole Discovery Kitchen smelling like garlic.
Oh,
and the whole building.
I don't mind the smell of garlic at all. And would you like me to keep pressing while you're draining the pasta?
That would be great,
okay.
Yes. You can put all that in there. You could. The other thing that the president and I have started to do is we put this on top of our pizza.
Wow.
So this has been a way for me to help him move from heavy cheese pizza to something that's a little bit more healthy. That's great. You know. So yeah, and it's been fun. So I make I get my dough down at Publix. They make those dough balls. You buy them in where the cakes are in the refrigerator part of the cakes. And we roll it out and we pre-bake the dough a little bit in the oven, very high temperature, like 500 degrees.
Okay.
Then I'll make a little pan sauce with just canned tomatoes and olive oil and oregano and a bay leaf, maybe a little garlic. Put that on top, and then we'll do some green, broccoli rabe or spinach or something with garlic. And I'll put this all over the pizza. And then you can still have a little cheese, but you're not looking for as much cheese because you know, you have a lot of other good tastes going on.
That sounds like a great substitution.
Well, you know, he's eating it, so I think that's a success.
That's a step. That's a step in the right direction.
Right.
So how often do you cook at home?
I would say that we actually have a meal at home probably once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that's because we have so many events to go to.
Right.
So, and many events at the house where we help to plan the food, which is good. I always enjoy that, working with the chef on trying to create healthy dishes. And I'm trying to move the President's House events to becoming a little bit more plant-based.
Okay.
And not so heavily meats and cheeses. So I've just put a sprinkle of red pepper flakes, and of course, you can have as much or as little as you like. Some people like things fiery hot.
Yes.
And other people are a little bit shy of that, so you can have it either way. So this is it. And so I just turned off the burner, and I'm going to get a little bowl of the pasta, and then we'll mix this together.
That sounds fabulous.
Wasn't that quick? This is a great weeknight supper. You know, when you come home from class and you have a lot of studying to do tonight, and you don't really want to.
I mean, this was all of maybe 15 minutes?
I know. Isn't that great?
Including cooking the pasta as well.
Let me bring it over here so we can get it together. Okay. Well, here we are. This is the broccoli rabe with penne pasta, and it's got a little bit of red pepper flakes and quite a bit of garlic. So let's see what you think.
Okay. It smells delicious.
Is it
It's
good?
really good. I love the red pepper flake and the garlic, and the broccoli rabe it's not as green as you said it would be. It's really good.
It's not bad.
So what about, you said South Carolina needed it.
Right. Well, you know, I used to work for DHEC, for the Department of Health and Environmental Control here at the Richland County Health Department. So I'm really well aware about our health problems in the state.
Yes.
And they're not that different from in the rest of the country as well, although we do have a lot of obesity and a lot of, you know, chronic diseases related to that, heart disease and stroke and cancers and even Alzheimer's. So, you know, I felt like our diet directly impacts our life and our longevity. So I decided that for that reason I should really get working on this book.
So we're going to start again with olive oil. Okay. We're going to get a little bit of olive oil going here in our pan. This is a couple tablespoons.
Okay.
And that's going to really help to flavor our tomatoes. Now, when the farmer's market comes back, we can use fresh tomatoes. But for right now, I like to use these canned ones. And these are organic tomatoes.
Okay.
So I think they're great because we know that they haven't been grown with chemicals or pesticides or anything like that. So I'm just going to put 2 cans of tomatoes into my olive oil here in the pan.
Okay. And these are diced canned tomatoes?
Yes, they are. They're diced and they're just in their own juice. There's nothing else added here, so that's great. I don't think there's salt or anything, just tomato juice. And basically, I'm going to turn this up as high as I can get it to go. Okay. And all we have to do now is just wait for a few minutes.
Okay.
This is called saganaki.
Okay. Saganaki.
Feta saganaki. And what it's going to be is we're going to stew these tomatoes down in the olive oil so that all the water kind of goes off of them. And they're left just sort of like this nice pulpy tomato in olive oil. And then we're going to be adding a couple of teaspoons of dried Greek oregano, which is really fragrant and delicious.
Okay.
And when we get all that together, which is really takes no time at all, we're going to break in some feta cheese.
Ooh.
And this is also another one of those very versatile dishes which can be served over pasta. It can be served on pizza. Again, it can be served even just with, if you have a nice baguette and you want to toast it, like if you're having a party.
Yes.
And you want a nice appetizer, just slice your baguette into little rounds, toast them up in the oven, and then put a spoonful of this on them, and your guests will love it.
That sounds marvelous.
So it's
So very versatile.
It is. It's a versatile dish. It's an inexpensive dish, and it tastes great.
Even better.
Where do the proceeds for the cookbook go?
Right. We're donating those to the Health and Sustainability Fund on campus, and this fund is going to be used to support projects that have anything to do with wellness or sustainability. So things like the farmers market, we hope to keep the farmers market coming. We have a garden at the President's House, a vegetable garden, and there's one behind the Green Quad, and I'd really like to be able to help support more gardens on campus that more of our community could participate in and then derive some great vegetables from.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel Bowen, here to fill you in on all the latest celebrity gossip. Now this has been a huge news week for some of my favorite hot messes, like Lindsay Lohan. Now there's not much happening with the whole necklace debacle, except for the fact she is going to court next month. But my favorite piece of Lindsay news is the fact that her mother confirmed that she is dropping her last name and wants to be professionally known as just Lindsay. Now at first I didn't know how I felt about this because I didn't think she deserved to be a single name celeb like Madonna or Beyonce, but then I thought if Snooki can do it, so can she. And the other big mess of the week was Chris Brown. He smashed the window of his GMA dressing room after he was annoyed by the fact that the host asked him questions about his ex-girlfriend Rihanna. He later tweeted that he can't believe people still call him out on his past behavior, yet praise people like Charlie Sheen. Now I don't know if I agree with him, but what I do know is that I am so sick of Charlie Sheen. All of this talk about Tiger's blood and saying winning every 5 seconds was kind of funny at first, but now it's just depressing. And apparently I'm not the only one who thinks that, because ticket sales for his tour have been very low, and he has yet to score a book deal. So all of you Sheen Machine fans will not be reading Memoirs of a Warlock anytime soon. And in other overexposed celebrity news, Rebecca Black has announced that she has signed on to a new music management company and is working on a follow-up to Friday entitled LOL. Now based on this title, we know two things: that it will be A, amazing, and B, it's going to be a heartfelt, emotional ballad that will finally get people to take Rebecca seriously as an artist. But she has confirmed that it will not be about days, weeks, or months, so it won't be nearly as educational. Well, if you're not too busy deciding between kicking in the front seat or chilling in the back seat, make sure you return to Talk of the Town next time for even more celebrity gossip.
Coming up, we have Campus Spotlight, more Gamecocks in the Kitchen, and Top 5.
This past week on Green Street, several organizations gathered to bring awareness to their organization's special causes. Whether it was a bake sale for Haiti, the University Oaks trying to sign more leases, or just WUSC playing some music for dancing students, one thing is for sure, all were exposed to excellent opportunities, such as the Sip, Shout, and Shag for Camp Chemo. Camp Chemo is an event in which children from the ages 5 to 18 who have been diagnosed with cancer and are currently in chemotherapy have the opportunity to just have fun.
Well, today the HRTM 386 Festival and Management class is doing an event out here on Green Street in order to get the students actively involved with Camp Chemo. We're throwing a festival called Sip, Shout, and Shag to benefit Camp Chemo.
And when is this event?
It is April the 14th, 6 to 10 at the National Guard Armory on Bluff Road, diagonally across from the William Bryce Stadium. And students are $15, adults are $25, and children 10 and under are free.
The opportunity to get their heads shaved did not go unnoticed, as students, journalists, and the USC baseball team all sat down, putting their trust in other students to shave their heads. And though this was just one way to show support and raise awareness for the Camp Chemo, the students of the HRTM courses have set a $50,000 goal in fundraising, and the way you can help is by going to the website listed below and donating. This has been Cassie Zamora with Campus Spotlight.
But I'm going to put quite a bit of oregano in here, probably the equivalent of about 2 teaspoons.
Okay. And you just measure that in your hand?
Well, yeah, you can, if you want to use a teaspoon, you can. But, and I'm just going to give it sort of this little bit of crumble, just to break it up. And sometimes in Greek oregano, there's little stalks.
Okay.
So that helps to break those up too.
Oh, it smells so...
Doesn't that smell nice?
It does.
Oregano. So this is right about how this is supposed to be looking.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn off the heat because the feta cheese doesn't really need to cook.
Okay.
But and I'm going to show you this feta cheese. There are a number of different ones on the market, but I've kind of settled on this one. It's called Vigo.
Okay.
And it's actually a feta cheese that's coming out of Bulgaria, but it's made from sheep's milk. And I just love the flavor of it.
Okay. And is this richer than?
It's actually, you know, when you say richer, I assume you mean fattier. And I always think of sheep or goat's milk products as being not as fatty as cow's milk because, you know, the way we raise the cows, we keep giving them, you know, we keep fattening them up and making them bigger. Whereas if you think about a sheep or a goat grazing on the, you know, on a hillside, they're pretty lean animals. So this is packaged in a brine, and I'm going to just pour off the brine, and we'll see what the feta looks like, and we'll use the lid for that as well. I'm just going to hold the cheese back so we don't lose the cheese. Okay. This is our feta. That looks beautiful. And I'm going to break it up, but I'm not going to break it tiny, tiny.
Okay.
And you know, some people buy already crumbled feta cheese. That's kind of a waste of money.
Okay.
Because they charge you more for crumbling it for you.
They do.
Which only means that it gets drier and loses more of its flavor by the time you buy it. So
the tip for this recipe is to crumble your own
crumble
cheese.
your own feta, please. Yes. You definitely don't want to waste your money on pre-crumbled feta.
Okay.
Say that a few times, right?
Yes.
Now, why don't you stir that around to blend it, and I'm going to wash my hands.
That would be my pleasure.
If you don't mind. And we are just going to go back to our pasta, and we're going to make a nice little bowl of feta saganaki over pasta.
Okay, feta saganaki. Say that a couple of times fast.
It's a tongue twister, isn't it? After you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Don't burn your lips now, that's still a little bit.
Oh, it tastes so good. Oh, I wish you all were here to taste this.
Oh,
it's so good. And the tomatoes taste so fresh.
Yeah, and there they were in the can, so that's good. If we made them taste fresh, that's really a good thing.
And what do you think? I think you've outdone yourself. This is phenomenal.
Thank
so
you.
Good, so good. And it's so easy.
Well, I'll tell you one more secret. If you happen to have a little bit of this left over and a little bit of your broccoli rabe left over, put them together.
Oh, wow.
They're great. Taste great together.
That sounds so good. So you get a little bit of the green mixed in with the tomato and the cheese. It sounds wonderful. My goodness. Well, thank you so much. Those are 2 quick, easy pasta dishes that anyone can make. And it's super inexpensive, it's time friendly, and it's healthy. So here's to promoting a healthier lifestyle.
Great. Thank you.
And I mean, your passion it truly shines through. And today, cooking with you was such a pleasure. So, can we expect another cookbook anytime soon?
Well, I can't promise it'll be soon, but I do have an interest in doing another one.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
and will it be Greek food as well? Do you plan on continuing?
You know what I'm thinking about doing, and I haven't even written a proposal for this book, so I probably shouldn't even be talking about it, but I'm thinking about doing a book for children that might be focused on gardening and then cooking from your garden.
Wow.
So I'm thinking about giving them some new ideas to really re-engage them around vegetables.
And you do both. You cook and garden.
I do. I really don't do too much gardening, but I'm surrounded by people who help me with the gardening.
Okay.
So I have great resources there.
Great. Well, thank you so much for everything today. It's been such a pleasure, and I hope that more students get out and buy Greek Revival. It is such a great cookbook, and it's so inexpensive. The meals are friendly and just delicious, tasty.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate
it's such a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
This week on the Top 5, Chef Sue takes you to a different time zone, the Pacific Coast time zone, to discuss the top 5 discoveries about life on the West Side.
Get it poppin', I'm in electric, chill all day, chill all night, let's get it poppin'. I'm in electric, ever got some ass in the back of a class, and her ass so round, it can sit on glass. You try to see, so your eyes on zoom, and now you laughing as we head into my room. Hey!
As you probably know, many people move to LA to try to make it big. The key word there is try. Many aspiring stars, like myself, find it difficult to afford a good time. So I learned how to eat, drink, and find entertainment on a budget. Hi, I'm Chef Sue, and this is dinner in LA. All right. Thank you. This is great. Been bombarded with samples. Do you have samples?
I have a barbecue chicken.
Real good. Real good. Bottomless mimosas. And when I say bottomless, I literally mean when it reaches the bottom, I fill it back up. I love this place. It's the biggest one. Or you could just people watch, which leads me to number 4, bitches be crazy. There are some truly interesting people in Los Angeles. This look will never be sexy, and neither will this. Now this guy, yeah, I could appreciate this guy. I also learned that even on opposite coasts, some things still remain the same. The shames are equally embarrassing on the East Coast and the West Coast. Now, Southerners like myself may know all about riding horses, but those crazy West Coast chicks know how to ride bulls. Check this broad out. This is crazy, I love it.
I expect you standing on the bull.
Yeah, I mean, that bull doesn't seem like it's going too fast. What? This is crazy, I'm gonna do it. Perhaps I should take notes from this chick on how to really make mediocre bull riding sexy. Surely I heard a lot. Oh my God, no hair. Long hair, no. The West Coast is amazing, if not just for this one reason. Number 1 on our countdown.
Knock a little louder, baby.
Dimples Karaoke Bar.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
The place is fantastic. There's always interesting talent.
Look like an angel. Uh-oh.
It's a celebrity hotspot.
Sign, Mr. Building.
Yep, that's Mr. Building.
you say that only proves that I'm insane. Sing it if you know it. You might be right. Yeah.
And the gentleman that runs the place is a little stud muffin.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. That's why the West Side is amazing. That's what I done learned. See you next time.
Well, that about wraps it up for this week's episode of Talk of the Town.
Stay tuned in 2 weeks for our season finale.
Have a great day and watch out for those April Fool's pranks.
Change, change, change. Change, change.